How often has this happened to you? You stretch, you strain to hit Control Z again and again. You lose your flow to look for the correct keys to press. And we've all done that complicated finger dance. Ouch! Stop straining, stop searching. There's got to be a better way. Well, now there is. Introducing the TourBox, the video game controller made for creative professionals and hobbyists. The ergonomic design means your wrist rests comfortably while you're free to focus on your work. Find buttons easily with their tactile feel and get a satisfying click with each button press. Undo and redo is a snap. Just press the buttons with a tap. No more doing a complicated finger dance or straining to reach the correct hotkey. Turn dials with ease to make canvas rotation a breeze. Keyboards are boring and TBH fam, kinda sus. But with the TourBox, feel like you're playing a video game while creating the things you love. Today I wanted to talk about this thing. This is called the TourBox. It's super cool, and I've been looking for one for a while, and full disclosure, I was sent this by TourBox to make a review for it, but I'm not being paid by TourBox in any way, and outside of that, I'm going to give my honest opinions, and honestly, I pretty much have nothing but good things to say about it. I do have a couple cons, which I'll save for the end of the video. But with that, let's get started. So let's set up our first shortcut. So the first one I'm going to do is undo and redo. So here I've done a couple brush strokes. If I go back to my TourBox console and I want to set up a new shortcut key, basically what you can do is you can press whatever button you want to use. For undo and redo, I like setting these two tiny buttons right here to be undo and redo. So I'll click that button. It'll navigate me directly to that button over here. I click where it says not set and just press on my keyboard Control Z and then click OK. And then same thing, I'll push the right button. It'll take me to that button. I click where it says not set, and then I press Control Shift Z, which is redo on my program. Press OK. And now when I go back to Clip Studio Paint, I can press those buttons to undo and redo. So pretty cool. We already have our first set of instructions and it took no time at all. That's one of the reasons I like this thing a lot, is it's super easy to set up. And also if you change your mind later, like if you're using it and you're like, I don't really like that button to be that function. It's as easy as switching to the TourBox, pressing that button, and then just changing the setting that you have there. If you don't know what shortcut keys are what, you can always go to your keyboard shortcuts options, which in Clip Studio Paint is under File and then Shortcut Settings. So look up what shortcuts there are, and if you want to do something that doesn't have a shortcut, obviously you'll need to set up a keyboard shortcut first here, and then your TourBox will be able to do that same shortcut when you go back to it. So let's set up one of these scroll wheels. So for zoom in and out, I like to have it be this up and down scroll wheel right here. I find that the most intuitive, so I'm going to scroll on it. It'll take me right to it. And for scroll up, I'm going to set it to 2, which is zoom in for me. It might be like Control plus for you. And then scroll back, I'm going to set it to 1, press OK, go back to Clip Studio and just make sure it's working the way I want it to, and it definitely is. And then I'm going to have it so where when I click on the scroll wheel, it resets the view. So if I click the scroll wheel in, it'll take me right to that press command, and I'll just set that to Shift X, which is my reset view command. And now I can zoom in and out, and if I'm zoomed too far, I just click it in and it resets it back to normal. Pretty cool. And that's basically how you set up your TourBox. It's as easy as that. So now I can rotate my canvas just like that. It's so cool. I've been using this for a few days and it still feels really cool to be able to do that. That's awesome. And then here's something really cool I wanted to show off. I wanted to show off this D-pad here. So you can set each one of these to be different tools. I'm going to set them up to be my move layer tools, my brush tools, and my eraser tools, and my eyedropper. Okay, so I have my D-pad set up, so obviously I can select each one of those tools with my D-pad here. So up is move, left is brush, right is eraser, and then down is my eyedropper tool, just like that. But here's where it gets really powerful. If I hold this side button right here and press that in, and then push one of the D-pad buttons, now I have 4 new sets of D-pad buttons I can set up. So for this, I could have it be my transform tools. So I'll do Control T, Control Shift T, which is my free transform, Control Shift W for warp transform, and then U for my liquefy tool. So now if I go back, if I hold the side button down, I can now press these buttons to bring up my transform tools. So I've got my free transform, my distort transform, my warp transform, and my liquefy tool. And you can imagine this might get a little bit confusing if you don't remember what tools you have for the D-pad. Not to worry, TourBox has thought of that also. If we right click on our TourBox option right here and go to Open D-Pad's HUD, And usually this option is on by default, you don't have to turn it on. So you can see I have K, which is my move tool, and then my brush and my eraser. And then if I hold the side button, I can see my other options here. But these letters aren't very clear. Well, you can actually rename these by going into that command. So we'll press up to navigate to up, click on our shortcut, and then click this pencil right here. And you can rename that to be what the command stands for. And you can see it's renamed it right here. So let's go through and rename all of our tools. And now we can more clearly see what our tools are when we switch to the different tools. So a really nice way to organize your D-pad. And I haven't even gotten to all the features. There's so many features in this thing. Let's set up a macro really quick. So let's try this tiny button here. And then on these top menus here, you can set up macros or tour menus. So tour menus you can set up to have different tools when you select them. So I have one set up here already. If we press OK and then press that button, you can use either your mouse to select these, or you can use the scroll wheel to select different tools. So that's very cool. And under macros, if you set up a new macro, basically what this is a multi-action. So you can set it to open a program, open a link, you can have it insert text for you, you can even have it click on certain parts of the screen if you want to. You can just set one button to be a macro of all those different operations that you're doing. So super powerful. Really cool all the stuff that you can customize the TourBox to do. And that's my presentation on the TourBox. I really like this thing a lot, and I see it becoming a permanent staple in my workflow from here on out. I really like the customization of it and how easy it is to use, and it's just fun. Like, it's fun with a capital F, you know? I feel like I'm navigating a spaceship or playing a video game while I'm making art. I really like that aspect a lot. One limiting factor about the TourBox is its price, honestly. It's a very expensive piece of hardware. If you're more of a hobbyist, I would suggest probably not getting the TourBox. It's probably a little bit much for that. But if you're a full-time creator, I would highly recommend getting a TourBox. If something like this seems interesting to you at all, I love it. I really like this thing. If you'd like to check it out, I have a link in the video description down below. Not an affiliate link or anything, just a link to their website. So, you know, go check them out. Go see if it's something that might be interesting to you. Thanks for listening, guys, and I hope this was helpful to you. Take care, keep on creating, and until next time, bye-bye.